long. Something's off in Cleveland. Everyone sees it, but nobody inside the organization is talking. Just last week, Shedeur Sanders was supposed to be the guy. The rookie QB fans couldn't wait to watch. And now, he's standing on the sideline in full gear, suited up, but not touching the ball. Officially, it's an oblique injury. Unofficially, fans are whispering, is this really about health, or are the Browns making their QB decision behind closed doors? On paper, the team's story sounds safe, a minor strain, nothing worth risking. But here's the weird part, if this was truly just a small tweak, why isn't he even throwing soft warm-ups? No snaps, no drills, just standing there like a prop. Meanwhile, Dillion Gabriel is suddenly running with the first team, getting protected from criticism, and sliding right into reps that should have been split. The timing feels way too perfect to be a coincidence. Fans aren't blind. They've seen Shedeur grind through tougher spots, take hits, and keep playing. So when the coaches dress him out in pads but keep him frozen on the sideline, it doesn't scream precaution. It screams narrative. And at the exact same time, Gabriel is getting more comfortable, more spotlight, and zero heat when he slips up. That's not an even competition. It looks like someone upstairs already made their call. Look at how the staff phrases things, day to day, we're just being cautious, we'll see how he feels. It's all vague enough to buy time, but never clear enough to lock them in. And when reporters push for details, the answers get even foggier. That's the trick. Keep the story cloudy, and you can quietly shift snaps without ever admitting you're moving on. To fans, it feels less like injury management and more like damage control. And here's where the double standard really jumps out. Just this week, Gabriel tossed a pick during a 2-point drill. Clear as day, caught on video. But when the official reports came out, nowhere to be found. It got wiped clean because technically 2-point plays don't count for stats. But let's be real, if Shedeur had thrown that ball, Twitter would have exploded and ESPN would have spent hours breaking it down. With Gabriel, crickets. That silence is what's fueling the fire. Fans see Gabriel's mistakes get brushed aside while Shedeur gets roasted for every incompletion. It's not just about one interception, it's about who's allowed to mess up and who isn't. The Browns are acting like Gabriel deserves a soft landing, while Sanders has to walk on glass. And when you protect one rookie while sidelining another, people start asking if this battle was ever fair in the first place. If you've been watching closely, the Browns aren't just easing Gabriel in, they're showcasing him. During joint practices, they rolled out trick plays, bootlegs, even gadget sets, all with Gabriel at the helm. That's not normal for preseason. Teams don't tip their hand like that unless they're building around a guy. And the crazy part? None of those reps went to Shedeur. It's like the playbook is already shifting, one snap at a time. And the timing couldn't be more suspicious. We're in the stretch where QB depth charts usually get locked in, when every rep matters. Instead of splitting opportunities, the Browns are giving Gabriel a stage and leaving Sanders in limbo. If this were truly just an injury pause, you'd see Tyler Huntley or even Joe Flacco rotating in more. But nope, it's Gabriel front and center, like the script was written before the season even kicked off. Listen to Coach Stefanski's words carefully. He won't officially rule Shedeur out, but in the same breath says it's unlikely he plays. That's the kind of double talk that keeps fans guessing while the team quietly shifts gears. And if you're not gonna let him throw a single ball, why dress him in full pads? That's not precaution, that's optics. It's a performance for cameras, making it look like he's in the mix when really, he's already out. Fans can smell when something's off, and right now they're not buying the company line. Sanders is out there, suited up, but treated like a ghost. Meanwhile, Gabriel's getting all the live fire reps, even in high-pressure spots that should be reserved for the guy competing for QB1. The energy around camp feels less like a fair battle and more like the Browns are staging Gabriel's rise while keeping Sanders in the shadows. Think about how different the reaction would be if the roles were flipped. If Sanders tossed that interception in practice, we'd see slow-motion breakdowns on every sports show and endless debates about his NFL readiness. But when Gabriel does it, silence. Not even a headline. That's not just oversight, that's protection. And when the media goes quiet at the same time the coaching staff stays vague, fans start connecting the dots real fast. It's becoming obvious this isn't just about an injury, It's about setting the stage. The Browns know fans expected Sanders to be the story, but instead they're feeding Gabriel opportunities that don't match his resume. He's being treated like the chosen one before he's even proven anything. And when you see the reps, the plays, and even the silence around his mistakes, it feels less like competition and more like a quiet takeover in progress. Saturday's matchup is lining up to be the real tell. Gabriel is expected to get the bulk of the snaps, while Sanders stands on the sideline again. If this were only about healing up, you'd expect at least a few scripted plays for Shedeur just to test the waters. But nothing. It looks like the Browns are giving Gabriel a full audition under the lights while Sanders is forced to watch his shot slip away. And the setup couldn't be more convenient. Right before final roster calls, the Browns suddenly have an excuse to sideline Sanders without officially benching him. No controversy, no headlines, just injury management. Meanwhile, Gabriel gets all the live game reps he needs to prove himself. It's like the perfect storm: protect the narrative, avoid public backlash, and sneak your preferred QB1 into the role without ever saying it out loud. Fans aren't stupid. They're digging into snap counts, pulling clips from practices, and posting side-by-side comparisons online. And the evidence keeps stacking up, Sanders getting iced out while Gabriel gets promoted. Some fans are even threatening to skip watching the preseason games unless Shedeur sees the field. That frustration isn't coming from nowhere. It's coming from the feeling that the Browns are rewriting the QB battle without ever admitting it. College fans especially aren't letting this slide. They followed Shedeur's journey, saw his growth, and expected that same fire in the NFL. Now, instead of a fair shot, they're watching him sidelined by vague updates and silent politics. It doesn't feel like he lost the job. It feels like it was pulled away before the real fight even started. And that's the kind of thing fans don't forget. Not in Cleveland, not anywhere. What's wild is how quickly this shifted. Just a couple weeks ago, Sanders was praised for his poise, his command in tough moments, his ability to shake off pressure. No. He's reduced to a sideline spectator, treated like an afterthought. The narrative flipped overnight, and not because of performance, but because of a minor strain. If that's really all it is, why does it look and feel like a full-blown QB switch already in motion? The Browns keep insisting this is just temporary, but everything about their actions screams long-term. Gabriel isn't just filling in, he's being built up. First-team reps, experimental packages, live game scenarios, all tailored to him. And once a rookie gets that much exposure, it's hard to take it back. By the time Sanders is cleared, Gabriel could already be cemented as the guy. That's not a competition, it's a quiet coronation. And here's the kicker: the Browns don't even have to admit what they're doing. As long as they keep saying day-to-day and precautionary, they can drag this out until Gabriel feels like the natural starter. By then, fans are used to it, media's adjusted, and Sanders' shot is already gone. It's a way to make a huge decision without ever taking responsibility for it. And that's exactly what feels so shady about this whole situation. What makes this even tougher to swallow is that Sanders earned his chance. He showed grit in college, stepped up under pressure, and proved he could handle the spotlight. That's the kind of resume that should buy you patience, not politics. Instead, he's standing in full pads like a prop, while Gabriel gets every opportunity to shine. To fans, it feels less like football decisions and more like front office favoritism playing out on the field. The media silence makes it worse. Usually, every beat reporter jumps at the chance to analyze a QB controversy, but with this one, crickets. No one wants to call out the contradictions. No one wants to question why Gabriel's mistakes vanish from the reports. And when the press goes quiet at the same time the coaches get vague, it doesn't feel like coincidence, it feels like coordination. Fans notice that, and it only fuels the fire. At this point, the preseason doesn't even feel like evaluation, it feels like confirmation. Gabriel keeps stacking reps, getting comfortable, while Sanders' role shrinks to nothing more than a sideline cameo. And once the season kicks off, it's hard to reverse that momentum. The Browns might say the competition is open, but the reps tell a different story. It's like the QB1 battle ended weeks ago, only nobody bothered to announce it. And fans aren't just venting online, they're demanding answers. Some are calling for transparency from the coaching staff, others are flat out accusing the Browns of rigging the QB competition. Threads are popping up with video evidence, snap counts, and even breakdowns of who gets the easier play calls. It's not just a small group of angry voices, it's the wider fan base realizing they might be watching a setup instead of a fair fight. The craziest part? This whole thing could backfire. If Gabriel struggles once the real season starts, fans won't just blame him, they'll blame the organization for forcing the switch. And if Sanders never gets a fair shot, the Browns risk alienating the exact crowd that's been hyping him up since college. In a league where loyalty is fragile and trust is everything, this kind of silent QB shuffle could turn into a full-on fan revolt. So here's the bottom line. Maybe this really is just a cautious move to protect Sanders from a nagging strain, or maybe it's the Browns quietly crowning their QB1 without owning the decision. Either way, the silence, the favoritism, and the hidden stats are adding up. Fans know it, and they're watching every move. So what do you think? Are we witnessing smart management, or a setup that cheats Sanders out of his shot? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like, and don't forget to subscribe, because this QB drama is just heating up. Because let's be honest, once trust is broken between a franchise and its fans, it's hard to patch up. The Browns can talk about caution all they want, but if people believe the team is playing favorites, that stigma sticks. And the worst part? It doesn't just affect Sanders, it sends a message to the whole locker room. If decisions aren't made on performance, then what really matters? Politics, narratives, that's poison for team chemistry. And that's why this story feels bigger than just preseason snaps. It's not just about who takes the field Saturday, it's about whether the Browns are being straight with their fans and their players. If Gabriel earns the job, fine, fans can respect that. But if the job is handed to him in silence, while Sanders gets benched behind smoke and mirrors, then the Browns aren't just risking a QB controversy, they're risking their credibility. And credibility is everything in this league. Players buy in when they believe the competition is fair. Fans stay loyal when they feel the team is transparent. But when the whole situation starts looking like smoke and mirrors, doubt creeps in everywhere. Even vets in the locker room start wondering, if this can happen to Shedeur, could it happen to me? That kind of doubt spreads fast, and once it does, it's hard to reel back in. Remember, this isn't the first time Cleveland fans have dealt with front office drama. They've seen star players pushed out, coaching changes happen overnight, and promises get broken. So when this QB battle looks less like football and more like politics, fans can't help but feel déjà vu. It's like they're watching the same movie play out again. Only this time, the spotlight is on the most important position in the game. So here's where we land. If the Browns really believe Gabriel is the future, they need to own it. Be honest, be upfront, and let the chips fall where they may. But this halfway, hush-hush approach? It's only creating chaos. Fans deserve clarity, players deserve fairness, and Sanders deserves the shot he's earned. Until that happens, this isn't just a QB controversy, it's a storm that could follow the Browns all season long.
I've been chasing these dreams.